Hello folks, welcome. It is the 18th of February. You've caught me at the workbench. At the workbench. What am I doing? Let me just move this perhaps down this way a touch so we get a little bit more depth of feel into the video. Yeah, so what am I doing? I am in the process of making a sponge stick. This is a video about how to make your own sponge stick. Okay, so now I will come just a touch closer. So in order to do this, the best way I found is I get myself some dowel, 1/8 inch dowel. Okay, and I cut up this dowel rod into lengths that are 8 inches. 8 inches in length. Okay, so just cut this up into those sizes. Then what you're going to have to do, I'm going to do one just to show you, but it's not going to be very visually interesting for you, but I'm just going to show you anyway. Here on the grindstone, I'll take one of these. I'll do it with the guard up so maybe you can see it a bit better. On the other hand, the lighting might not be that good. So what I basically want to do is any sharp bits you grind off. And now what I'm going to do is hold it at 45 degrees to the corner, and I'm going to spin it in my hand like this on the corner of the grindstone. And I do that 4 times. So basically, let's bring this into the light a bit here. Can you see there? Because this is where I'm going to hold the sponge stick by the end here. So I want just a little bit of grippiness there. Next, what I'm going to do is the other end where the sponge is going to attach. What I do is I kind of get it into like a point like that, a little bit like a pencil, and then I put a groove in it. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but I put a groove there just in the end, because that's where we're going to attach it to the sponge. Alright, okay, let's move over here to where the sponges are, etc. Right, so at this stage, so we've got, and I've got here a bunch of these that are already prepared, you see. You're then going to need to get some of those very small zip ties, like that. And I get them already prepared by bending them around, you know. And then what I use for the sponge, this is going to be the sponge that's going to go on here. I've been using this. This is air conditioning weather seal. So I take some of that. Okay, let's do it to show you what I do. How I do this is I take this with the scissors. Okay, I'm just going to cut through like that. What I then do is cut that piece in half like that, and then that's going to be my sponge. I have them all, I pre-cut up a load of them, so I'm ready to go, you know, when I come in here to do this. I sort of like to be a bit sort of be a bit robotic about it, you know. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to take one of these dowel rods that I prepared, and I'm going to push the dowel rod into the end there of the sponge. Now I don't want it to penetrate and go in too far. Basically what I want to do is push it there, and then I take this, you see what I'm doing? Pushing this up in that direction, push it up over the dowel. Okay, now I can feel the groove there, holding it in like that tight. Okay, I now take one of these zip ties and I pull it over. Okay, kind of being aware where that groove is, and I pull it tight. Now I generally do that with my teeth. Oh, what would my mother say? Simon, do not use your teeth for doing that. Well, it's only soft plastic, you know. It'll be all right, Mum, honest. Okay, so what I now need to do is cut off this, and I should have a piece of wood here, which I don't know where it is, but never mind. I'll pull out one of my paddles from the drawer there. So actually, maybe that's a better one. Alright, take a piece of wood, because you want to chop this off. The zip tie end. It's quite important to get that nicely cut off, because if you cut them off not very nicely, they can be sharp, you know, and jag your fingers. So get that cut off like that. Now you may find that this is a bit too much sponge on the end for your liking, in which case what you can easily do is you can just chop it down to whatever feels right for you. Okay, let's do one more. So take one of those, take a nice piece of sponge, alright, push it in like that, bring this up over like that, zip tie right over that area where the groove is there. You want to zip tie the sponge into the groove. Okay, that's what's going to pull it tight as you can. I find my teeth is the best way of doing it. It doesn't hurt my teeth. Okay, using my knife here, cut him off. Okay, now if you want to just cut him down to size a bit, that's easy enough to do. Or not, if you don't. You know, that's the nice thing about this, is that if you want to, you can trim the sponge to the desired shape. I quite like a sponge that's a little bit square, not round, because the sponge has got corners, and those corners, when you're sponging out, can be quite useful. They can get into the corner of your pot, get the water out where you need to. Alright, that is basically it. That's how to make a sponge stick. I hope that's been helpful to you. Have a go at making a sponge stick. Now I showed you how to make some cut-off wires. Now have a go at making a sponge stick. Having a decent sponge stick is so important. Some sponge sticks I see have got a big round sponge on the end, you know the ones I mean, with a great thick piece of dowel that's this long and a horrible ugly screw head that goes down into there. Not actually all that practical. You really want a sponge on a stick that's not too wide in diameter, so you can get it in through the neck of a bottle. You don't really want to have to open your bottle all the way up just so you can get your sponge stick down in there. So you don't really want it's better to start off with a piece of sponge that is a little bit longer, not too wide. All right, and very useful, you know, when you've thrown your pot, just to put it down there as it's on the wheel and just mop him out, you know. All right, great. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope that's been of helpful to you. Put your comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Meanwhile, you can go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. If you want to come here on a workshop, there's lots of free dates. Check out the website dates. And yes, above all, keep practicing. And I'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.